hello, America, in YouTube, and world. But Judge Napolitano too. I never tried to contact a Joe DiMauros and others like a Joshua Julian. I never had anything to do with him. He was pretending other with people involved with the Joe DiMauros. In other words, I recorded them with the police in the courts since I was a kid, with people on my street, with intelligence families that used to go. They're involved with a whole bunch of different police departments. And there's a guy named uh, Aaron. I don't know his last name. And he's reportedly Jewish. And he never had a word. I never had a word of conversation with him. Never had a class with him. He walked by me 1 second in the cafeteria one time, which I noticed this in the volume signs of people where they're walking. It's recorded other ways. There are people that were putting people in my classes to hide life progressions, increasingly with people involved with predicate acts, methods that are relative to the breaching method as a predicate acts delivery system method, as a criminal and citizen's delivery system method. I'm not even a lawyer. All sides of criminal and civil cases, the lawyers, their family members, their sources, the news, and the courts' names at the same time. Even the names of their positions, the difference of that. Usually, even and the difference of things they're not supposed to tell about. They communicate when they use the place criminally foreign influence as they are only capable of doing. Because of what I caught the campus is being used for. This is since before I was born. Central Connecticut State University, for example, in New Britain, Connecticut, and all the different campuses, including fire campuses and medical campuses, they have connections that even they don't realize. In Washington, D.C., in the World Trade Center, has rules with clearer than day, criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw, natures of logic and influences, for the difference of investigators, for example, speaking about crimes and readings of statutes where and how they are predicate acts with facts, methods/S roles. And the communications of James Madison, like, for example, regarding the breaching method, that nature itself, too, communicates to us, was one of the things that was the sum value of those laws, sickly distinctly against every person, and further sickly distinctly, based on what it needed. But based on the counter of our founders, who had to counter extort the other third, with the first 2/3 of our founders, which are Native Americans all the way. All three portions are Native Americans, but then coupled to Native Americans with and behind James Madison and his plan. And they went and got George Washington to agree to help them and to use that plan. But see, we have other told for the breaching method too. It sent us, and it shows them, pretend they need to do their homework. Sickly distinctly, they have the sciences abridged, taught tactically wrong, tactically delusions wrong. This could be changed like this, but people don't follow mandated law. They make confessions and demonstrations. They jump into people's part. Oh, take your meds. I'm trying to talk about World Trade Center predicate acts, and the same ones involved with child offenders, leaders of the kids, sexual and medical at the same time, and the legal nature. A whole bunch of names from Harper Courts and the Britain Superior Court and Connecticut's District Court involved with a Joe DiMauros and a John DiMauros and a Paul DiMauros. Where DiMauros Market is now and where it used to be, next to Hartford Hospital. Also involved with Aiello. Joe Aiello, recorded capacity demonstrated confirmed as an adult. He never went to my grammar school even. He was involved with people that were putting predicate acts in my dad in my grammar school with a former Mayor Gold and others with Ukrainian and Russian with Mayor Gold involved planting evidence on the sides of parks at the parks with names through time. Involved with state police too and writing forensics increasingly with people involved with predicate acts on my street. I never saw him on my street in my life. A whole bunch of people increasingly tied to him. Further roles recorded with the principal upskirt nature and more medical offenders of kids. One's named Leahy. They attached me to fake conversations with them. A whole bunch of people at Hartford Hospital have a Ray Collo involved with this Joe DiMauros, and they're educators from grammar school. I never had a class with them in grammar school. One day, Mr. Apruzzi, my fifth grade teacher, told me to do a maze. That was Joe DiMauros was going to do. They're increasingly involved with people in my fourth grade class tied to body dumping spots in child defenders, leaders of the kids, years apart with U/S that were timed collusions with that. And confirmations of things on Facebook by people they've been planting evidences with, as their roles with a whole bunch of different countries with people all along Route 3, like with the name DiMauros and McCord and Pandolf. They might have killed Anthony Pandolf. That was a different person at Trinity College who died, but another person that died at Trinity College. If it was made up, it was also the person involved with the FBI director, Robert Luskin. Increasingly, people that tied to him have been making vertical and horizontal confessions to me about their roles with identity theft, fraud, slanders, right where you don't know the people's names or if you know the people, so you can't respond. And these are particular why you respond, because there are times where investigators of all natures haven't been used remotely, criminally foreign influence. These are people that have roles that have been stacking in the Britain Superior Court, predicate acts with facts, arrays of falsified police reports. There are some Mendes police and some named Domain and Mulcahy involved with Thaddeus Grabowski next to Fox Connecticut News. Also with others, Chet Casper is also involved with them there. A whole bunch of people with the Connecticut courts and police departments involved with wire crime acts and methods. These are also people involved with the Saudi attackers, involved with the John DiMauros confessions and demonstrations with them too. When I was a kid, about his roles with the side of that side entrance of Caldor, where Caldor used to be. It's now a Walmart on Town Line Drive. Increasingly, that has something to do with the World Trade Center attack. That spot, that it's a corner, but it's also like a exception there. And these are the people with the founding locations. Joe DiMauros said they're recorded and confessed and demonstrated there are people all along Church Street and with the corners involved with him with predicate acts, with Hartford Hospital, New Britain campuses. Heather Hansen recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed roles at Central Connecticut State University with some black KKK Confederate flag theme, Latino theme. They're military, foreign and domestic. Even a Kuwaiti general is involved. See, but now people are speaking as groups and they're speaking as strangers. They should have minded their business and had not hid what was actually recorded, as they do. The police forums have all kinds of wire crime acts and methods where they fake the police phone conversations and do other tricks to record things after was already recorded. A whole bunch of people who, in other words, Joe DiMauros called me on the phone at our post with people listening, and he hid more than just what I recorded before that. Increasingly, there are people with the name Smith. I don't know them, and there's a Christopher Cullen who's involved with a whole bunch of different countries, spying on Americans, using truths for lies, as collusions with overt criminal enterprises and private ones, with the grammar school kids and high school kids. I mean, grammar school kids and the younger and all the youngest ages. And then, each age, it is between the campuses, they're stacking roles of predicate acts with facts. And with the predicate acts with facts method, they're stacking collusion/S, which are also relative to where and how we have black pupils, white spies, and that has been left out where such critical subjects are tied to it, to this hyper evidential. When I would say it, it's not just that. It is generating more revelations. The other species have two eyes too. It's showing us simultaneously / hyper simultaneously. It is not them nor us. Why and how all the different species have quality aspects, nature, non-distinct, distinct but non-distinct, and simultaneous. But also per that further hyper simultaneous, so to speak. So please, Judge Napolitano, that's why New Britain Superior Court has been stacking with Hartford courts too. There's a judge, there's an officer Hunter too, involved with people at Central Connecticut State University with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and with Dean Judd and his family members, and people next to the campuses, intercities, who have rules with some murders and untimely deaths at the same time they got brought up with other natures of organized crime roles and predicate acts roles and methods, like a Robert Rodriguez, who's been through the years involved with the police and courts that have been refusing to identify themselves and planting evidences on all sides of my house with people at the campuses, intercities. I never saw him on a campus in my life. There are proofs that he rolls with the whatever this the wet all kinds of different mayors, like concentrated from Wethersfield. Because in other words, please get them on paper, one name and sequence, Your Honor. Thank you.